Hello and welcome to the Youth Academy story. This is a career mode series based up around Cutzy, a YouTuber who is the creator of Youth Squad Legends. In this series, we will be taking a selection of Youth Academy players and regens from the low depths of League 2 all the way to the Champions League final, where hopefully we will win. In this series, the manager of Morecambe United is none other than Dave. So this is Dave, the man in charge at Morecambe for the foreseeable future, and the man in charge of bringing in a good team of youth players for us in this career mode. Some say that Dave was a random man found on the streets, wet, cold, and just looking for some food. Others say that he was a magnificent man who travelled to 92 different clubs in the space of 3 weeks looking for a job that would allow him to become a great manager for years to come. So looking at our emails for the beginning of the season, we have a set of different emails from different people involved in the club who have given us our objectives, our financial reports, everything that we need to know basically for the season ahead. So looking at it, we've got D.Dave, important transfer news. Hi Dave. Good news Dave. Hello Dave. At this club here, he's only been here for a day, but everyone at the club already calls him by his first name. I mean, it could be his last, but we'll just call him Dave. So, looking at the visions and expectations from the board this season, Youth Academy wise, within 2 seasons have at least one player from the Youth Academy signed in the first season play at least 50% of the games in the second season. That is an easy objective for us because based off of the fact this is a youth based career mode, we can easily play that because there will be a lot of players coming from our academy this season. Keep a streak of at least 85% attendance in 5 consecutive home matches. I mean, I'm not really in control of that, but I feel like that's a fairly easy objective to fill, especially in FIFA career modes. We have to finish mid-table in the AFL League 2 and reach the round of 32 in the Emirates FA Cup. And we have to finish the season with an unspent allocation of 2.64 million. Now, this is possible. Whether it will get done will depend on how many Youth Academy players we bring into the team and how much money is spent on them. So we've got our first report here from our scout telling us which players he thinks we should sign. And you know what? So we've taken the liberty of transfer listing every single player that we can transfer list in the first team to this point. This way we bring in a lot of money and we start to move off these real life players immediately. Next on our list is to search for any potential youth players or regens that have already been brought into the game in this first season. Usually you'll see that they're in the transfer list for the free agents, and they'll often be between the ages of 16 and 22. So we're searching by position, we will go through this and see if there's anyone that we like. So we found Alexander Bodorov, 6'1" right-footed left-back from what I believe is Bolivia. His stats look pretty decent as far as defending goes. His sliding tackle is very good, but his other defensive stats aren't. We'll bring him in purely because it is a good start to players that we want to bring into the team. We've also found Pedro Salcedo, a 6'2" right-footed centre-back. He is looking pretty decent. He's got very good jumping, pretty slow, but I reckon that will grow. Decent defensive stats, decent heading accuracy, good ball control. Looks like a very solid centre-back to bring into the team this early on. So it looks like we've got 3 players here in the midfield position. We've got Nikolai Makanziev. We've also got Dimitar Rangolov, 5'10", CDM, 18 years old. And finally we've got Anas Singh, 6 foot tall, Indian left midfielder. He's very slow, not very agile. He's got fairly decent ball control, fairly decent long passing, but other than that he's pretty crap in everything else. So in the attacking form we have found Shane Ingham, a 5'6" striker from what could be New Zealand? I think it's New Zealand, it might be Australia though. He's got a little bit of pace about him, good dribbling. I mean, we'll bring him in nonetheless because we need as many players as we can get right now. So now we come to the most important part of this career mode, hiring our scouts. The way we're going to be doing things in this save to stop things from becoming too easy is within the first season, which will be our League 2 season, we will be allowed 2-star, 2-star scouts. When we get promoted to League 1, we'll be allowed 3-star, 3-star. The Championship will be 4-star, 4-star, and then when we get promoted to the Premier League, we'll be allowed 5-star, 5-star scouts. Now, the only other thing that we will be doing in this career mode to try and prevent ourselves from having it too easy too early on is we'll be setting an overall potential cap. Now, this in Football League 2 will be 83, in the Football League 1 85, in the Championship it will be 88, and then when we reach the Premier League in our first season it will be 90, and any season after that it will be 94. So straight away here we've got Patrick Moore, 2-star 2-star scout from England, 88k, we will sign him up. Unfortunately it doesn't look like there are any 2-star 2-star scouts in the second set of scout reports, so we'll bring in Tyler Morgan, a 1-star 1-star scout, and we'll think about replacing him possibly next season when we start playing games. And finally there is no 2-star 2-star in our third report either, so we'll bring in Ilkay Kara. This way we have a full set of scouts to start straight away. It means that next season we can think about getting those other 2-star 2-stars. So then Patrick Moore will be going to England for 9 months. This way we can just keep scouting England and try and bring through as many English players as we can to then populate the team with a better English side than any other nation. Tyler Morgan will be going off to the Republic of Ireland for 3 months. And finally we will be sending Ilkay Kara to Nigeria. We're going to go to Nigeria for 3 months, try and bring in some African players, maybe find the next Shola Amiobi. So it's the first of the month and that means we have our first set of youth reports for the series. We will see what kind of players we get. First off, Ilkay Kara from Nigeria brings us back Kingsley Adekunle, 15-year-old goalkeeper, 6'6" with 51 to 71 potential. He is good enough for us to sign, and so we will do just that. Next up, and Tyler Morgan has brought back Patrick Fanning and Ian O'Grady. Now both of these players are far too good for the team and therefore will both be rejected. So our final report for the month, and it is Patrick Moore in England. He's brought back Sean Harrison here, who is far too good for the team, so therefore will be rejected. We've got Charles Hall, a 5'7", 16-year-old player, 40 to 56 overall, 53 to 73 potential. We will bring him up. Sam Murphy, 43 to 59 overall, 6'6", 59 to 81 potential. He's good enough to bring into the team. Taylor Cooper, 44 to 58 overall with 56 to 74 potential. Again, good enough to bring into the side, and we will do just that. And finally we have Lance Baker, 31 to 43 overall, 45 to 63 potential. We will sign him up. So, onto our second scout report in Nigeria. Now we have Benjamin Nwapa, way too good for the team, 88 max potential. He will be rejected. We also have Darlington Lawal, 34 to 48 overall, 6'3" with 43 to 59 potential. It is absolutely terrible, but it is another player we can bring in. Next up, we have Tyler Morgan in the Republic of Ireland. He's brought back Chris Kennedy, 55 to 75 potential with 41 to 55 overall. We will bring him in. Finally, in England, we have Patrick Moore here. He's brought back Charles Rose, 89 max potential is way too high. Harrison Kelly, 38 to 52 overall, 59 to 83 potential. That is literally right on the boundary that we're allowed to sign, so we will sign him up. Sam Roberts, 87 max potential, gets rejected. Jay Rose, 88 max potential, he will also be rejected. And Tyler King, 53 to 71 max potential, he will be signed into the team. So in our third and final report for Nigeria, Ilkay Kara has brought back Benjamin Adebola, 61 to 83 potential, right on the boundary. We'll sign him up. Next up, the third and final report in the Republic of Ireland, Tyler Morgan has brought back Mark O'Connor, 61 to 83, again right on the boundary. Sign him up. We also have Neil McGee, 17-year-old, 33 to 47 overall with 62 to 86 potential, just a bit too good for where we're at, and so therefore he will be rejected. In England then, in the third of the 9 months, we have Patrick Moore bringing back Jay Watson, far too good for the side and therefore he will be rejected. We have Oscar Harrison, 27 to 37 overall, 49 to 69 potential, sign him up. And we also have Alfie Ward, 48 to 64 overall, 57 to 77 potential, looks like a decent player. We'll bring him in. So with that out of the way, we will start sending our scouts back out. We will send Tyler Morgan to Denmark for 3 months. And Ilkay Kara will go to Japan for 3 months. Hopefully we can bring in a decent Japanese player. So in our first report in Japan we have Yoshino Kinoshita. No face. I'm not a massive fan of the no face players in the game. It's a real shame, but he will be rejected. We also have Yusuke Kita, 42 to 58 overall with 46 to 62 potential. He's 5'5", but we'll bring him into the side anyway. Next up, Patrick Moore in England brings back Billy Wilson, way too high overall. He is rejected. Peter Ward, 47 to 63 overall, decent overall with 58 to 78 potential. Bring him in. Billy Hall, 46 to 60 overall, 74 to 94. He gets rejected. Billy Morgan, 44 to 58 overall, 54 to 72 potential. We'll sign him up. And finally, Morgan Hughes, another goalkeeper, 42 to 56 overall with 53 to 71 potential. Now then, in our first report in Denmark, we've got Victor Lund and Matthias Jessen, 2 players who both are eligible for the team and will both be brought into the team. So then, month number 2 in Japan, we've got Takafumi Koizumi. Great name, but unfortunately he's just too good for the team so far. We've also got Masaso Masaoka, 56 to 74 overall potential, so we will bring him up, 47 to 61 overall. Next up in England, we've got Reece Brown, 56 to 74 potential, we'll sign him up. Henry Edwards, 54 to 74, we'll sign him. And Mason Griffiths, 51 to 69, we'll also bring him in. Finally, in Denmark, we've got August Henriksen, 57 to 79 max potential, we'll sign him up. And Frederik Lund, 59 to 79 max potential, we will bring him in. So, the third and final report in Japan, we have Atasuke Hanabusa, 53 to 73 overall potential, so we'll sign him up. We also have Kenji Kita, 47 to 61 overall, with 71 to 94 potential. It would have been incredible, but he's just too good for where we are. Next up, England on its 6th month has brought back Max Evans, 43 to 57 overall, but 86 max potential is too high. Morgan Bennett, 38 to 52 with 47 to 65 potential, we'll sign him up. And finally, Brandon Morgan, 43 to 59, 67 to 91 potential, so we will reject him. Final report for Denmark, and we've got Alexander Vestergaard, 45 to 61 max overall with 54 to 72 potential. We will sign him up. Denmark has brought us back some very decent players. So, me being me, I forgot to send the scouts out for the third set of months, which would have taken us through to 1 month before the end of the season. So, luckily, we have that 1 month buffer. It just means that in the final set of reports for the year, there will only be 2 rather than 1. We only have 1 now rather than 3. So, in England, for the only report of this month, we have Jordan Baker, 46 to 60 overall with 55 to 73 potential. We will sign him up. Patrick Bailey, way too good. He will be rejected. And Joel Evans, 41 to 55 overall with 54 to 72 potential. We will sign him up. So, Tyler Morgan will be going to Croatia for the final set of 3 months, and Ilkay Kara will be going to the United States, hoping to bring back an American player or 2. So, our first report in the USA brings back David Clark, 42 to 56 overall goalkeeper with 58 to 78 potential. He is another goalkeeper though, so I don't really know who we're going to pick, because we've had so many this season. Next up, Patrick Moore has brought back Connor Hall and Brandon Harris from England. Both of these players, though, far too good and will both be rejected. So, finally, Tyler Morgan has brought back Robert Bakaric and Zelko Jelasic, both of which are too good for the team anyway and will both be rejected as well. So then, in our second report in the USA, we have David Kerr, 39 to 53 overall with 60 to 82 potential. We will sign him up. We also have Wayne Cameron, 42 to 56 overall with 54 to 74 potential. He will also join the academy. Next up, in what I believe is our final report for England, yes it is, we have Cameron Bennett, 67 to 93 potential, and Oscar Bailey, 60 to 82 potential. So Bailey comes in. Unfortunately, Bennett is too good though and will be rejected. And in our second report for Croatia, we have Bosko Kranja, 34 to 46 overall with 55 to 75 potential. He will come into the academy. So in the second to last report of the year, we have Josh Williams, 33 to 45 overall, 56 to 78 potential. We will sign him up. And finally, in the last report of the year, we have Anto Soldo, 66 to 90 potential. So unfortunately, he will be rejected. So we are in the final month of the season. We have no more scout reports to come in, and we will now get to take a look at the players that we've brought through the academy this season. So, going through the squad hub, we have 6 goalkeepers on our books now, starting off with Sam Murphy, 55 overall, gone up by 3. Reese Brown, 46 overall, gone up by 2. Billy Morgan, 48 overall, gone up by 1. Mark O'Connor, 50 overall, gone up by 3. Kingsley Adekunde, 46 overall, gone up by 1. And Morgan Hughes, 48 overall, gone up by 1. Looking at the right backs, we have 2 ready for next season. We have Frederick Lund, 48 overall, gone up by 2. We also have Darlington Lawal, 47 overall, gone up by 1. Looking at our centre backs now, we have Victor Lund, 48 overall, gone up by 1. We also have Pedro Salcedo, 60 overall, gone up by 2. We have Chris Kennedy, 51 overall, gone up by 2. And we have Alfie Ward, 53 overall, gone up by 1. We only have one recognised left back on the books this season, and it is Alexander Bodorov, 57 overall, gone up by 3. In the CDM position now, we have what looks like 3 CDMs on our books. We have Harrison Kelly, 51 overall, gone up by 2. Dimitar Rangelov, 57 overall, gone up by 2. And Oscar Harrison, 39 overall, gone up by 3. In the right mid position then, we have Mason Griffiths, 49 overall. He's only just come into the team, so he hasn't gone up at all. We also have Matthias Jessen, 47 overall, gone up by 2. Looking at our centre midfielders now, we've got Benjamin Adebola, the 18-year-old centre midfielder from Nigeria, 46 overall, gone up by 3. We also have Lance Baker, 43 overall, gone up by 3. And he has a bold patch on the back of his head. Oh my god, I feel sorry for the kid. We have a lot of left midfielders on our books at the minute. Nikolai Makenziev, 55 overall, gone up by 3. Anas Singh, 52 overall, gone up by 3. Oscar Bailey, a player who has just come out of the academy, 49 overall. Yasuke Kita, 52 overall, hasn't gone up at all yet this season. Jordan Baker, 49 overall, gone up by 1. We have 3 attacking midfielders on our books, starting off with Taylor Cooper, 48 overall. Bosco Cranshaw, 43 overall, gone up by 1, rocking the Gareth Bale man bun. And finally Peter Ward, 54 overall, gone up by 1. Looking at our forward options, it looks like we have 3. We have Atasuke Hanabusa, 43 overall, gone up by 2. We have Shane Ingham, who's been here since the beginning of the season, 51 overall, gone up by 2. We also have Charles Hall, 54 overall, gone up by 1. So scrolling through now, this looks like it will be our first 11 for next season. Obviously with regards to the pre-season tournament, we'll be able to judge better what players will be doing. You scroll through our bench, we've got a couple of decent substitutes there. Cooper, Bailey, Ingham looking very good. In our reserves, we've got some very notable additions as well. Yesin, Keita, Baker, Hanabusa in the reserves as well. So we've got a good set of players here ready for next season. So this is the end of the season. With that, I will end the episode here. Dave has had a good first season with Morecambe. We finished 16th in the table, but whilst bringing through a good set of Youth Academy players ready for next season. We look forward to working with you again next season. We didn't achieve all the objectives, but we achieved enough to keep the job. So with that, I have been the Fat Belly Fred. Thank you for watching the Youth Academy story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.